Welcome to part 6 of Swap 2.0. Today we're going to start installing the harness for the conversion, the swap harness. So I've been using a company called 150 Tunes, that's 150tunes.com in Spokane, and I've used, I don't know, 4 or 5 of their harnesses. This is their latest one, which I just got. It's really nice. What they've been doing lately is building harnesses from new components rather than stripping out the old harness. So you're looking at the ECU here. These come 2-plug and 3-plug. This one is a 2-plug because it has an integrated controller running the 6L90, and the controller is in the body of the transmission, not externally. So this is the fuse panel, which includes the fuel pump relay and the ignition relay. It does not include the fan relay. He believes that the fan relay should be out in front, not inside. So normally I mount the ECU externally, but he doesn't want to do that anymore and has decided that he wants the ECU inside. So I'm laying everything out ahead of time. Here's another. This is all the information, the wires that go inside. That's the ODB connector and the pedal connector. And then you get where's that little dude there? You've got some blank ends right here that you connect up your speed, etc., your tap shift up and down. So I'm laying it out right now because it's different than I've done it before. And I have to bore a hole in through here. So it goes in through here, somewhere around in there, and then you reverse it. It has there's the grommet right here. So I have to go back into the harness, into the cab, and then feed everything in it backwards, which will be interesting. So we'll see how that goes. So stay tuned for more. Okay, it's been a couple of hours since I took the first portion. We've tucked the ECU in. That's actually an E38. And we've stuck it up there. I put it in upside down, and that way I could run the wires up along the top of the dash. That worked out pretty good. I've never done it that way before, but it's compact. And then we have our little fuse panel. This is slightly enlarged from the last time. It has your regular relays for keep engine alive, etc. And I have a relay for ignition now and a relay for the fuel pump. He does not include a fan relay because he believes the relay should be up in the engine. So you've got a couple of wires here. That's your ignition on, big pink. And then you have a double fan control if you want to run sequential or pulse width modulated, or you want your fans to come on slightly differently. A couple of wires left over here, which is tach, speedo, brake. There's actually 2 brakes. Apparently in this transmission you need a double brake control to control the lockup of the transmission. So that's these two purple wires. Then check engine light, and actually it gives you a tap shift, which is really cool. A couple of people have been asking me about tap shift. Here is your ODB, your onboard diagnostic connector. And yesterday when I was working at Forey's, he actually had a really interesting gang. It was a double gang on the ODB, so he could hook up the Dakota Digital and then still run a computer without having to take it apart. So I'm going to look into that. I'm sure it's an option from Dakota Digital. And then our last one down here is your drive-by-wire. So that completes the rough-in process of getting this particular harness in. This is looking through the speedometer. I wanted to show you how we came through the firewall and out and into the engine bay. So that was pretty interesting. You got to feed all the wires from the very end and push it in. So that makes a nice little 2-inch hole. Here again is the Dakota Digital. It's going to find a place to live right up on the top. So we're roughed in right now. I've put everything most of the wires in place, and I'll do the final connection after I get the wires into the engine itself. Okay, we're back out in the engine bay. You can see where we've come through on the firewall. Let me get those wires out of the way. Those wires are your alternator and your starter feed, and then your purple wires normally are your starter solenoid. Okay, so at this point the harness splits left and splits right, and you can push everything in the back there. I can't, where did my trans, okay, so this one is your 6L80 connection. That's going to go push way in the back. That connects up way in the back of the transmission. On the left hand side, I've plugged in the coil pack for the fuel injector. These are the fuel injection, the fuel injectors connections. I haven't put those in yet. And where is my other, okay, here's the other side. So you've got knock, this is your knock over here, and then your main feed to your starter battery alt feed. The right hand side, we've got same thing. He calls it driver side rather than odd and even, so I kind of like that. That works good. Back side here, you've got your two grounds, which are critical. You got to make sure that you've got grounds from your battery to the engine, and then from the engine to the frame, and these go to the back of the block. So grounds are critical for everything. We also have the mass airflow over here on the right. We've got a coolant temperature, and we've got our alternator connection. This is already put in. I just kind of flicked them in. There's your drive-by-wire. There's the other side of the drive-by-wire, and there's your map sensor. So it looks like a lot of stuff, but it really isn't. So that concludes the rough-in portion of the wiring harness from 150 Tunes. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate all your good work. It's a really nice harness and a really complete set of instructions. So if you like the videos, press the subscribe button and give me a like. See you next time.